Good morning, y'all. Today we're gonna go to Juneau, which is the capital of Alaska, and we're gonna go to a glacier. But before that, what better way to start the morning than there's a wind tunnel. Oh, we're gonna fly for a little bit. Yeah, I just woke up, if in case you're wondering, but I know you can tell. But wow, wait, is that like a waterfall thing? Good thing I got my binoculars. Wow. As expected, it wasn't raining, but right when I got off the ship, it started. But it's okay, it's Alaska. That's what you get. You get 30 feet of rain per year or something like that. That's crazy. So it's a short walk, maybe 5 minutes to this visitor center. You can see the ship from here actually as well. And pretty sure the blue bus should be here because I see a bus that is blue. And that's pretty far, and you can still see it pretty well. So there's a very short walk to the waterfall. Very short walk means many tourists up and down. If you want to go somewhere that no one goes, you're gonna go somewhere further and harder. Not like the closest walks usually have food tourists, which, you know, if you want to avoid, just don't go there. But yeah, as you can tell while I'm talking, there's just people coming by because it's here. It's half a mile. This waterfall is a crazy sight to see. It's just so much water being dumped. But what is crazier, I know that global warming doesn't exist, but let me show you a photo of how the glacier used to look like. And also the bus driver said that when she was a kid, that where is the waterfall now, that's where the glacier used to be. Yeah, checks out. Yeah, the Mendenhall Glacier in southeast Alaska has been shrinking since the mid-1700s. The glacier has retreated more than 3 miles, which is about 5 kilometers, including 800 feet between August 2021 and August 2022. That's about 240 meters. The glacier is also thinning, with 85 feet of thinning observed between 2000 and 2020. So buses go every 30 minutes, today it's every 20. I got a $45 ticket from the blue bus, the big blue bus. And yeah, they drive you here and they drive you back. It's a 50-minute ride to here and about, I don't know, 50-minute hike to the spot. You can take other trails that are longer, but please go to the visitor center beforehand to ask if they're safe to be taken. I'm just kidding, guys, it's fake news. The glacier is not thinning. I actually went and measured it myself. But yeah, that's all I did for the first time in Juneau. Now let's go for my second visit to the capital. Alright, this is the second time in Juneau. Last time I went to the glacier. This time I'm gonna do the cable car, or like lift, I think it's called. I'm not sure how that's called, but I'll let you know how much it costs and we'll see what's up there. I guess it's called a tram. Gold Belt tram. So the tram cost $45, and in my personal opinion, it's not very worth it. Yes, you do get some view from the mountaintop, but all in all, there's nothing to do on the top. There's just a bar that I took a Irish coffee, of course, because it was early in the morning. I needed to warm up. The weather was pretty gnarly, so I went to the observation deck where you can see the whole cruise port terminal, and it was a pretty decent view, but again, the weather was just rainy, which actually is how the weather is in Juneau, characterized by mild, wet winters and cool, relative dry summers. The city of Juneau has a rich history dating back, like I said, to its indigenous Tlingit inhabitants. The city name comes from Joe Juneau, a prospector who, along with Richard Harris, discovered gold in the area in the late 19th century, leading to a gold rush and the city's establishment. The Tlingit culture continues to be an integral part of Juneau's identity. After that, I wandered around and I saw from the tram the taco, not taco, a taco store that I went, checked out, and got some salmon and some salmon caviar, which in my opinion, was so disgusting, it wasn't even funny. Later on, I tried to sneak in 2 bottles of champagne on the ship, and I was successful, although you're gonna hear what I say here, it was pretty obvious. But here's some strategies of how to sneak alcohol on the ship. Okay, this was insanely visible. I told them I have a bottle because like, oh, a camera, anything? And I'm like, I have a bottle. They didn't say anything about it, so I went with the bigger. Bigger bottle. So grab the smaller one, guys. Grab the smaller one. And the second bottle in the bag, I put it there as a decoy kind of, because I didn't have 2 pockets. So I put one in the bag as you saw me. They saw it. They said, I'm like, it's just a small bottle. Is that okay? They're like, it's okay. So it's not really okay, but they let me go. So what I'm going to suggest to you is grab a bottle like this and just put inside only translucent liquids like vodka, gin, tequila. If you want to get champagne or anything like that, get yourself an actual like a Yeti cooler cup or whatever it's called, because no one can see what's in it. So use that, or whiskey, use Coca-Cola bottle, something like that. Be creative. That is all for Juneau. Next stop is Canada, Victoria, British Columbia. Right, in Canada, for some reason, they still require you to wear a mask. So all day was like super foggy. You couldn't see like from the windows of the ship, or if you go to the actual like up there, you know, you couldn't really see anything. It was so foggy. But luckily right now, as you can tell, it's blasting sun in our faces, which is great. But let's show you a little bit of Victoria, Canada. Victoria is the capital city of the Canadian province of British Columbia, and it is located on Vancouver Island. Victoria has a rich history dating back to the indigenous Coast Salish people who inhabited the region for thousands of years. The city's European history began with the arrival of shock news, the British explorers, in the 18th century. It was named after another shock news, Queen Victoria of the United Kingdom, and was a significant trading post during the fur trade era. Today, Victoria's colonial heritage is reflected in its architecture and cultural institutions. As many tourists do, we went downtown and then we headed to Fisherman's Wharf and then head back to the ship because we did not have that much time to explore, but I am happy that we caught an amazing time with amazing weather. After Victoria, we have a last stop of Skagway, and I'm gonna take you along with me, but before that, let me show you which jacket I actually got from REI, not sponsored. I'm not gonna lie, I look like an awesome. Look at it. It is awesome. It has a hoodie just how I want it. Next and last stop is Skagway, Alaska. Population 19,200 if we count the 3 cruise ships that we port on that day, and 1,200 when the ships leave. The port is so small that we actually had to go into those little dinghies, or I don't know how they call them. Skagway gained prominence during the Klondike Gold Rush of the late 19th century. In 1896, gold was discovered in Bonanza Creek, a tributary of the Klondike River in Canada's Yukon territory. Skagway became the gateway to the Klondike, as prospectors from around the world flocked to the town to begin their journey to the goldfields. The famous Chilkoot and White Pass trails were the primary routes into the Yukon. Unfortunately, gold was never found in Skagway. Skagway's historic downtown area has preserved many of its Gold Rush era buildings, giving visitors a sense of stepping back in time. The city's National Historic District offers insight into the town's storied past. Well, it's an interesting town. If I have time later on, they have a show that they show some outlaw. It's like a play. It's pretty cold. I don't know, I would say like 13 degrees or so, like, I don't know, 65. And pretty windy. But it looks beautiful. It looks beautiful. I'll show you a few. Hopefully I'm able to release the drone. It's pretty windy. I don't know how that's gonna fly, but hopefully I do, so I can show you some footage from the mountains that are actually behind those buildings here. But it's like an old school town with one main street, as you can see. Very small town. It's one of those cities like Dr. Queen, the Medicine Woman. It's just one main street and that's it. I don't know if you can see behind me, but the horse from the from the broth are waving the customers in. It's awesome. I'll try to go and see it later, but I don't know if we're gonna have time because right now we're going on a tour with a bus. I'll take you along with me at first.
So Skagway, we got our start during the gold rush, and that was 1898. So that's when everyone came up here. But at that time, when people would come up here, no gold was ever actually discovered here. All the gold was up in Dawson City in the Klondike, 500 miles away.
It was so cold, I cannot even explain that with words, but we hopped on the other side of the border so we can take a photo of the Alaska sign, and after that we boarded the ship, and that was pretty much it for my Alaska trip. After we deboard the ship, I'm heading to Idaho and Glacier National Park. And with all that said, this episode has come to an end. Thank you very much for the support. I hope you enjoyed the content. I'll see you in the next video.